Hey, what's up, Mr. Rashad? Antonio, you know who we are. We are the Western Bros. We are back. Western Bros is back, man. 2024 for the House of the Dragon. Season two. This is going to be our season one, kind of like review, just a quick, if you hadn't seen it, you know what I'm saying, and you just want to know what's going on without really watching it, you can do two things. Listen to this, of course. And if you want a more in-depth conversation about it, just go back to the channel. We did the whole first season. It is actually in its own playlist. So you don't have
Yes.
to go searching for it. It's there. And again, if you are on YouTube, just you can just go to the Western Bros and the podcast will come up. But yeah, man, I was telling him before we started, like I went back and watched this like over the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and my God, all the feels are back. Like, uh, all the feels are back. The
Yes.
the theme song is just been playing in my mind.
Yes.
Just the Westerosi waters and the just everything, man. Like love I love this world so much, man.
And oh God, yeah. So I did my rewatch last weekend, and I was just and now that we are 1 week out from it, less than a week really out from it, I just I love about this show is about this world of Game of Thrones is that it brought together people that normally wouldn't be talking about shows together. And I
Not at
mean,
all.
not at all. I mean, you have your hardcore, A Song of Fire and Ice, fans who are
Hmm.
hardcore into it. You have your hardcore fans who got into the show. Of course, you have fans that were like very disillusioned at how the OG series Game of Thrones ended with the final season. You got other folks that was like, yeah, but it was still a good ride. It was a great ride, to just go through the whole thing. And I mean, you just have people from all walks of life. You got your nerds loving it. You got your, and I hate to say this, stereotypical hood niggas like out here, like seriously. I just want, cause Rashad, would you say historically and traditionally Black people aren't really fans of fantasy type stuff like that. Like it's
Yeah,
like we like it, but it's not. But it's a small group, and it's not really a big group that like it. And because of this, the Game of Thrones original show and everything, you have like a whole lot of Black people started watching this show. I mean, we started Black Twitter went off with the hashtag Dim Thrones,
hmm,
Dim Thrones. I mean, look at us right here. Even though we like stuff like that, the Wester Bros, instead of the Wester, you know what I'm saying? Like this show has brought so many people together, and already seeing just stuff where people are just hyped because it's been 2 years. And I want to say that the first season of House of the Dragon kind of brought the fandom back up because for people that were soured on how the original series ended and then how this first season just came along and we were just like, holy, how it happened.
it was a riveting first season. And even
Mm-hmm.
going back and just watching how this thing devolved into this civil war amongst the Targaryens, like
Yeah.
it's crazy, right? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
again, like I said, if you want to watch the whole thing about how he felt about every episode, please go back to the channel. But as I was
Mm-hmm.
watching, there are a couple of inflection points where things really turn. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we got young Rainier, young Allison. It's really their story.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time where this thing shifted, and to be honest, is all over some booty. Yo, it is all over some booty. When I mean Allison was so mad that, of course, I would have been mad too. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
glad you said, I'm glad you're saying this, and I'm gonna let you go. I bought this after doing my rewatch last weekend. I brought it up to my homegirl at work, Michelle. Michelle, shout out Michelle. She's a aspiring black filmmaker. She's made a couple of short films and stuff. She's like into this world as well. I told her, I was like, yo, this whole thing is because Allison got mad because she had to get some old, because Rhaenyra was out here smashing the best of the best, getting the top notch, ping from Westeros, while she out here getting that old man 30 years older than her ping from the king. And this is where this is all like really, this is all where it really stems from.
It's
from
real,
this whatever.
It's really
and
that.
And how pissed off she was at how, how pissed off she was. Like, she thought it was weird. Number one, I guess the relationship her and her uncle had.
True.
But then when she found out that she got it in with the heartthrob, Mr.
Sir Criston Cole.
Bitch ass Criston Cole himself, she was hot. And that's what it's been like ever since. And what's funny is I don't even think after he basically betrayed Rhaenyra and started rolling with her, I don't even think she still even got a chance to get a taste of it.
No, because because towards the end of the season, they're in the room talking, and she was like, basically the episode when they had to go find Aegon, and she was like, do this for how you feel towards me. So she was literally using the potentiality of vagina just for him to go find her raggedy ass son. You know what I'm saying? So like, this whole thing is really over some booty. You know what I'm saying? Because when she found out that, I don't believe, like first she was pissed about her and potentially Daemon. And she was like, I know you Targaryen got some queer customs. And the funny thing was like, dog, you are Targaryen right now by marriage. Just for,
and it's ironic she say that shit, and she married her kids to each other.
For the next episode, to see next thing I'm saying, like when the kids got older, you know what I'm saying, just to see the dad going, oh, speaking of her, like what spectrum is she on, because like she is clearly coded as being on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Helena is on the spectrum for real.
I have read that sometimes Targaryens get the power of foresight, like Daenerys the Dreamer, who told her father before the doom of Valyria happened, like about 15 years beforehand, like, hey, we need to get out of here because I'm seeing some weird things in my dream. And she kind of has some foresight because of
she the beast under the boards.
The beast under the floorboards. And then the other one where she was like, when they made fun of little Aemon and gave him a pig, saying a pig with wings, and she was like, don't worry, you will have a dragon. She said, he'll have to lose an eye. She was over there. She was predicting like all of this. So yes, her having, foresight, but she's also a weird little bastard, for real.
So that's the funny thing, like how all the steps that were made were clearly because of some sort of like just mad because like I can't get the booty I want. You know what I'm saying? Like it was really funny going back and watching it like under that guise. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this is really, a lot of this is just over some sex. Like for real.
Because if you remember the first time they see Criston Cole in the first episode,
they were smitten.
When he's in the tournament for the heir, and they was like, oh, who is this Sir Criston Cole? It's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he takes off his helmet, and she's like, oh, he's Dornish.
He's Dornish
or whatever. And let's be frank, the Dornish people are like the Latinos, blacks, the Taino people of Westeros.
They really are, Yeah, you're right.
Oh, because they come in different shades. You got some that are white. You got some,
look at the Dominican dude.
She's like, oh, would you look at Javier? Sir Javier of House Daddy
Oh,
Yankee.
for real, yo. Like
Gasolina, you know,
that is
yeah,
funny.
they was like smitten over, you know what I'm saying, over that dude. And then when Rhaenyra had a chance to pick her daggone, you know what I'm saying, her own the new member of the King's Guard, and that person was gonna be her sworn shield. Oh, she was like, how many? I mean, she made perfect sense in why she asked. She said, "Has any of them seen any battle?" And then, or it just so happened, her boo thing was like, "Yo, what's up, baby? Yeah, you know, I fought in the Dornish marches and everything." She was like, "Oh," tore tore her apart. She was ready to go from that point forward.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So there was a lot of just a lot of jealousy
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of envy from that once, very innocent relationship. Even like how they essentially tied in to how the religion was going to play a factor into it, because that was Alice's whole thing from the jump. And even when they came back, when Rhaenyra
And Damon,
and Damon came back to Westeros, it was like, where are all the
the
horny pictures
dragons.
at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they were like,
Like,
where are the horny pictures at? And where are the dragons? Where the dragon, like,
yeah,
dragon
yeah.
paraphernalia at, yo?
He's
Like,
like,
we the
nah,
houses.
yo, seven pointing guys for us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The seven guys gonna lead the way. And he was like, man, this
Mm-hmm.
don't even feel like, she's like, this don't even feel like home for real, yo. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it was real. Like, I like watching it from that aspect. So as we alluded,
Mm-hmm.
got two teams here basically. Got the
Mm-hmm.
greens, got the blacks. And the team green is definitely Allison, her kids, and by the end of the season, an astoundingly big portion of the actual realm. Like, they got a lot of people on their side. You know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
was led us to a young boy
Yeah.
Luke getting getting crushed. Oh god, yo, I watched the
Sending
episode, man. I said, yo, man,
sending that
why did
poor boy
you
out on
go
there by
in
himself.
there, Lucerys? Why did you do it? And the sad part was, watch the episode, the whole time they set that man up to die. I mean, from the beginning of the episode, I was like, yo,
My sweet Luke.
we
Is
should have
that
we should have seen that sweet boy. Our sweet boy Luke was going to die.
Can we just say one thing? Like, he never should have went, because you see that boy was already a nervous wreck before he even went.
Nah.
He was horrified of having to even go do this mission and everything. The brother was like, all right, bet, let me get my dragon. We're gonna go do this, you know, say it or
He was
whatever.
like, I gotta go by myself. Like,
Luke was like,
me and Jace not going together.
He said, anybody coming with me? Lucerys like, yo, I'm just 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I got my dragon, but I gotta go by myself. Hey, like me and Rashad said on when we did a recap of the finale, we did a recap of the finale, first season. As soon as I got off that dragon, and I would have heard, and I would have turned to my left and saw Vagar there. Hey, get this to your Lord. I'll holler at you. Peace out. Ain't no damn way. And you got, yeah, we're gonna talk about the dragons in a little
Man,
bit,
it
but
was like that. It was crazy. So yeah, so then we go on into Team Black. So Team Black is
mm-hmm.
essentially Rhaenyra and her ragtag bunch. It's like, we got like the people is there with her. We got Rhaenys, I'm sorry, and all the Valerians, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
the
and
Valerians are there.
our homeboy Corlys, and
Damon and his black daughters,
yeah,
Bella
yeah,
and
yeah. I
Rella.
was like, yo, they ain't got no sort of Targaryen genes in them girls, yo, aside for their hair. Them girls look black as hell.
Yeah. I mean, they just biracial chicks, man. You know what I'm saying?
For real, yo, those girls
you
is
know what I'm
like,
saying?
yo.
And for people that are saying like, oh, maybe they're too dark, stop it. There are biracial folk who are kind of dark, who are like Rashad complexion, or maybe a little darker than Rashad. Like, I know a guy myself, like whatever. I met when I went and I met his mom and stuff. I was like, it's your mom. Like he was like, yeah. I was like, oh snap. Oh, my bad. I
Your
didn't know you was
mom,
biracial. It's your mom. Like she I didn't I didn't, so I didn't know. So yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, along with the Valarians and then of course the two Kings guards that was there to sworn to her, that Damon basically was like, y'all down, right? Because if not, I can get Caraxes right here to get y'all act right real quick.
So no. We good. We rather, not die like this,
Yeah.
But nah, so these two factions essentially are fighting, and what leads us to your boy, probably the sorriest bastard on this whole show. And that is now King Aegon, second of his name. And from the day he came on scene, he has been pure trash the entirety of his time. And
we're not talking about when he was a baby, because you can't judge a little baby.
Nah, yeah, he was trash as a baby too. No, they didn't even show him as a baby. But I feel like he was a trash child the whole time. Like even when they showed, but especially when they showed him on screen, and he just was not like, the fun. Even the division between the kids is his fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then his mom was like, "Look, like you can't be playing your little bro in public like that." And he was like, "Man, it was just a joke, yo. Like why y'all so mad? We had fun." And she was smacked, I ain't never seen, she was straight just smacking that boy the whole time. That boy's like a grown man still getting smacked by his mother.
Can I just say one thing though, for real? You know who's the reason why he's the way he is? It's his mother.
Yeah.
It's his mother. Because if she was smart, and Alicent isn't that really smart or whatever, she's not really that smart at all in playing the Game of Thrones, you know what I'm saying, for lack of a better term. Because if you've known all this time, so after he's a little baby or whatever, and you see and you know what's going on, why aren't you even preparing your child, you know what I'm saying, to be a better person, to be a better king, to do the stuff like that? On the real, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. His little brother Aemon should be the one on the throne and not him.
He basically
on
said
that side. Yeah. On that side of the fence, it should be Aemon and not him. And Aemon even made reference to that. He was like, yo, I was the one that learned the histories. I was the one out here learning battle tactics and you know what I'm saying, learning politics and stuff like that. He says, why he out here drunken and whoring and stuff or whatever. He says, and Christian Cole was like, oh, well, too bad.
I know about not being the one to get the job. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up, man. But Alicent should have really been trying to prepare him to be a better king, if that's what she really wanted all along. And I feel that it would be somewhat of a better claim, even though they're still stealing it from Rhaenyra, because it was a royal decree from the pops or whatever, and all because you saw him on his deathbed and he was sitting there thinking he talked to his daughter. He started mumbling some shit. Only words you hear was Aegon King, and you like, oh, he wants our son.
You talking about my baby boy?
Talking about my baby boy. Your baby boy's a damn idiot for real. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in regards to season 2 in a few as well. So these two sides are so, how can I put this? They pretty much set this rivalry up between them. And like I said, the first inflection point was the whole sex stuff. You know what I'm saying? When they were still teenagers. The second inflection point was at probably the best episode of the season, and that is the Driftmark episode number 7, when we had the blackest funeral ever. I mean, I watched the episode back and I was like, oh, this show made me so happy. Like that is to me the best episode of the season. Anyway, because a lot of vital, even though it wasn't like a bunch of like fighting and stuff, like a lot of vital things happened in that episode that set up everything else between Aemon finally getting the dragon because he actually imprinted with Vagar, even though he almost died twice.
And then the biggest dragon
Yeah, the
of them
biggest
all,
dragon at
right?
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, and then the way he came in there, like really on some Conor McGregor type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to think absolutely nobody. Like that was how he came in there.
Yeah, he did.
And
Baby
he was
girl
like,
was like, "Yo, you took my mama's dragon. Yo, your mama dead.
Yo, mama dead.
Your mama." I said,
it hurt the second time. I was like,
no, because what it was, no, this was a lot. You. Yeah, me.
Yeah, me. I was like, oh,
yeah, me. I said, oh, he is feeling himself. It's like, you stole Vagar. And he was like, well, that's my mother's dragon. My mother's dead. Vagar belongs to me now. You know what else was funny about the episode too? It all started off with Vaemon talking greasy during the eulogy.
Yes.
He's talking super greasy. Vaemon, who was Corlys's
little brother. Yeah.
Little brother that was mad. He was just talking mad greasy, like, oh, blah, 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 blah. My sweet niece turned to the sea, Valar, because you are a true Valarian. And he's sitting there staring at Rhaenyra and her plain featured kids, as they say. He's speaking in Valerian. So it's like the only people that really understand are
the people that need to know.
And the funny part is you just got Daemon, and he's just like, he just started laughing like, nigga, we doing this right now. This
I know
my wife just died. Yo, this my wife died. Yo, like, nigga, this what we doing right now.
And I think that's another one of the things that, like, I think that they slightly missed the mark, and they should have included that in that, because it made it look like he had zero empathy for Laena, right? Is it Laena?
Yeah.
Yeah. For Laena passing away. And we always saw, like, behind the scenes that did have a scene where he did show some empathy and emotion with his kids. And I always was like puzzled, like, why they left that out. But because even at the funeral, he said, I know they ain't my niece over there.
He was like, she done grew up on him.
She hit, he hit her with the you may be young, but you're ready to love. Like, y'all, you a big girl now. That song is trash in retrospect. But anyway,
yes,
the damn 80s. But nah, like they like, because even them, they hooked up and they ended up by themselves getting married. You know what I'm saying? Because the funeral. We also see the decline of Viserys. Viserys called Alicent Emma. He said, Emma, I'm going to bed, girl.
I'm going to bed, Emma. And you see the look on her face. She was like, and then you saw Christian Cole looking like, ooh. Like, that's just remember, like, Emma.
And then
Emma, dad, man, what you talking about?
Yeah, and the commander was like, Alicent?
Alicent? He was like, yeah, her. Yeah.
Nah, that whole episode, man, even with the point where go ahead.
Then we go talk about it. Our favorite part, probably one of our favorite parts.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about it.
Besides the fight, the brother, Laenor, just
man.
Laenor, he was about to walk into the ocean. Go get your patron. Get your patron. His father, they was like, just. And he went to his boys, go get your patron, boy. Get the hell get your man, yo.
Baby was like, hey, not here, yo. Calm down.
Yeah.
calm down.
He was told up. Like I said, the episode that we recorded. Should have been me, Lord. I'm the sinner, not my sister. Me. Not my sister.
She was the good one.
She was the good one. It should have been me, 7-pointed star. It should have been me. the crone, the father, it should have been me. You know, it's like, it should have been me.
Yo, he was really out in the water, like knee deep, just
Yeah,
wet
that's
ankles,
yeah.
fully clothed, just like
And
I
then they had
can't
to
do it.
drag him back in, and he was daggone like he was. My man was done from that point. You know, what I'm saying from that point forward
Yeah,
to
yeah,
know
he
that
was.
his
Yeah,
sister. By the way, the two actresses that played I guess younger, like 20-some-year-old version of her, and then like maybe 29, 28 version
yeah.
of her were both fine as hell. By the way, it was fine as hell.
It's a very strong aside you took there. I didn't know where he was going with that.
Yeah, it was fine as hell. Yeah, I was like, damn. It's a damn shame she died in the books. I'd love to see some more. Whatever.
Nah,
So,
yeah. I mean, I definitely felt that when I was watching the episode before. I was like, man, they really sacrificed this black lady, yo. But then that was just another overall theme of the entire show when in regards to just like the woes of childbirth and how women are valued at that time. And it was quite visceral. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but all right. So
one of my coworkers, just for with that,
no, you
she
good.
has yet to watch this because she's like, she saw like part of that first episode, and she said absolutely not. She turned it off, and she says, I can't get through that. She says, I'm sorry, I can't get through that. And I said, I understand.
Because guys have been like, this is gonna happen about 3 more times.
About 3 more times in this. About 3 more times in this day go. In this day go. You know, God bless one of my homegirls who I grew up with in Portsmouth. She was pregnant at the time when this happened, and she loves this show. And she was like, yeah, thanks, Game of Thrones, for giving me my worst nightmare at the thing. You know, shout out to my girl Sandy. She did push through, and she did have a beautiful, healthy baby boy when she had it. But yeah, she was like, oh, they just gave me my worst nightmare.
Nah, it's definitely real, yo, because you know that good old Westerosi medicine from the Grand Maesters. We'll get to them in a second. Yeah, the scene where they take Aemon's eye is it's like it's just so good because like they really jumped him. They really jumped that kid. It was so black, yo. It was like, oh, you said something on mama. And those strong boys came through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because they after that they did not come through at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, that was the highlight. That was the highlight of the season for them, man.
Yeah, that was like the dude who played high school football but couldn't get into college. Glory days.
Yeah.
So
it's wild too because how this is set up. This is how the show is set up. Like I said, the warring families, or you know, the two factions of the families. It's like some real life stuff, man. Because there are people who got cousins where I mess with these cousins right here. And even though, of course, we know that Aegon II and Aemon are really the uncles, but they're like the same age and stuff or whatever. It's like you got family members that you mess with this family and you don't. And you saw where, because at the beginning of the episode, that was also Lee coming off of Harwin Strong being killed by his brother Lucius Leftfoot, and the boys pretty much knew that Harwin Strong was their damn pappy, and they was like, "Yo, we should be at Harrenhal at our pop's funeral. We shouldn't be here." She's like, "Hey, yo, chill. That's still you know what I'm saying? That's still your family. You need to go comfort." So the boys, they connected with the girls through the grief of losing.
United in grief.
United, being united, and you know what I'm saying, being united in grief or whatever. And then you got the asshole uncle that's the same age as them coming over there flexing and, you know, called them bastards, pushed the girls down, and they started rumbling.
And his brother was drunk, so he couldn't even help out at all.
Right.
He just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, again, favorite episode. Rhaenyra gets sliced with the cat-eye dagger. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so good. And that was really the division of them based on because of what? The kids, which again is a result of what? Of sex. So like they
because it was already tension between them.
Oh yeah, it was
it was tension. But the losing of the eye and then old girl snapping. I want her kid eye right. right there telling her sworn shield, go cut out his eye right there. They're like, what?
Yeah.
And stuff like
even
that.
even as much as he was riding, he was like, I'm only really here to protect you. Like,
yeah, right. You know,
I can't
that
take the
right
kid's
there
eye.
was kind of the point where it was like, all right, this ish is over. And yeah, that's what it came down to that point right there.
All right, now let's get to the point where we talk about who was really at blame for all this, and that's King Viserys. King Viserys is really the architect of his own demise. And unfortunately, he was trying his best to keep the peace and ended up causing more issues than he could have ever imagined, because all he wanted, like a regular old man, was just for his family to be there and to get along. And them bastards wasn't getting along, and he didn't really step in.
And you know what I think too? I don't think he had a backbone enough to follow through with some things. Because I'm gonna say this about King Viserys. King Viserys is like, hey y'all, just get along. Yo, look, I'm the king. I done said this. Just get along. But here's my thing. If you're the king, and for all of Rhaenyra flaws, going out having bastard kids and all this stuff like that, she came up with the perfect compromise. The perfect compromise. She says, look here. I will marry. Let's go ahead and put Jacaerys and crazy ass Helena, betrothed them to each other.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. She gave and that to me was a perfect, compromise, because hey, they still Targaryens. Even saying they just ain't got the Velaryon blood. They still Targaryens or whatever. That way, Jace is still the king. One of her kids is going to be the queen. Daggone sweet Luke was still going to be Lord of the Tides, or what, or whatever. And the other boy, he could have been, I guess, helped out. They could done whatever, been knights, whatever, like that.
Yeah,
that was the perfect compromise.
Over Driftmark.
Over Driftmark, whatever. Perfect compromise. But you got Alicent, absolutely not. Because when she said it, Viserys was like, "Whoo, that is a great idea. Let's go ahead and do it."
Now that you mention it.
That's a great idea. And then Alicent, I'm not about to have my. I would have been like, bitch, I'm the queen, I'm the king. You better shut the hell up. I approve of this.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he never really put his foot down. Him trying to had this, like, this guise of peacefulness really was creating chaos amongst his family. And now in season 2, and of course also his slow decline to death, which could have easily just been the Mace's poisoning that man, like you said early on. You know what I'm saying? It took him too long to die.
We was doing the Viserys Health Watch every week. So finally found out what it was that he was afflicted with. He actually had leprosy.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
He actually had leprosy. And doing like research, finding out about it, they were saying like the things that happened to him, like, getting pricked and, wounds not healed and lesions, fucking body parts falling off like every, there was like, that's about the right timeline for stuff like that to happen with somebody with, with leprosy or whatever. So he had leprosy, and that was his thing. And I guess that's another reason why you can say Alicent's man, because she out here got to take this leprosy ding ding from this dude or whatever. I think he has your nose.
Tony, by the end, when they had that last little family dinner, and that man took his mask off.
Yeah.
And he was out there looking like Two-Face.
Yeah.
Without an eye.
Yeah.
I said, damn. It was bad.
That man was being held together by duct tape and a prayer. For real, yo.
For real. It was
Real,
crazy,
yo.
man. But nah, yo, so
But you, and the thing is, and back with the family divide, and this is where Allison, I think, messed up at. Yo, he won't go never go against Rainier. That's his baby girl.
no, no, no,
That's
no,
just
no, no, not
never.
at
He was
all.
never going to. That man was in the bed half dead when she came to visit him. When they was talking about, Lucerys won't, saying won't the Valerian and stuff.
Yeah.
That man, probably the most epic scene of it, because the Greens thought, ha, got you. We're gonna delegitimize everything. And Rhaenyra is about to talk. The doors open up. Oh hell, King Viserys. He made sure he got there for his girl. He was struggling to come through. You saw him and Aemon finally kind of, him and Daemon finally get their amends together and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, why the hell are we talking about something they got solved 20 years ago? What is going on? What is going on here? Type thing or whatnot. That's the only thing he ever was certain with was that he wanted Rhaenyra to be the next person to sit on the Iron Throne, and he never was going to go against Rhaenyra. All the times Rhaenyra gave him hell when he was like, girl, you got to marry somebody, and she was like, I ain't trying to marry nobody, and she's like, damn it, you got to do your damn duty. Like, he was like, that's the, like, with all that. But when it was anything like attacking her, he turned a blind eye. He knew them goddamn kids won't Laenors.
Not
But
at all.
he turned a blind eye, man. So yeah, that was Allison's biggest flaw. Two things, like I said, she didn't really properly prepare Aegon to be a king, and then two, she was being the stepmother, trying to come between a parent and their child.
Mm-mm. Yeah, but that's what happens when your counsel is an overzealous father. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was really like a how can I put this? He's like a sports dad. Because like living vicariously through their child, like, because he can't have no real authority, but he's gonna try to make it so where he is behind this. Okay,
he was pimping his daughter out, yo.
That too. I was gonna make it like like a political analogy.
Let's just call it what it was. He was pimping his daughter out.
Yeah. He was like almost. He was almost like Dick Cheney. You know what I'm saying? Like the president, like Jojo Bush was out here just fool me once. Shame on.
He actually be fooled twice.
It's like, that's kind of like how she was, and he was behind the scenes being the puppeteer. So yeah, King Viserys, Alicent, Otto Hightower, the nastiest bastard of all. And that leads us essentially to season 2. What are you most excited about seeing this season?
So, because Rashad, I'm like, I ain't 10 toes deep. I'm fucking neck deep. Neck deep. So I remember back in the OG series hearing about the Dance of the Dragons. I went back and looked up, so I know kind of how it's going to end and everything. There are some things that they are taking liberties with because it's a show. You have to, like they did with the OG. I'm reading the books. I'm doing audio books now on the OG series.
And also the way to get around it in lore is saying that basically this is the account of somebody. So all the accounts aren't really true accounts, but they're just accounts that somebody somebody wrote down.
Right. So I'm looking. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rashad, you can maybe. I think they said they only do 4 seasons of this, maybe 3 seasons.
4 or 5. I forgot. I think maybe 4.
Yeah, it's not going to be really long or whatever like that. Really like a drawn out thing or whatever. Because the Dance of the Dragons is basically like a few chapters in the book known as Fire and Blood, which is the anthology and the history of the Targaryen family. I am interested to see, number one, what is supposed to, what if they do this in the book, HBO is vicious and don't care. The payback that Rhaenyra gets for losing Luke, I'm hearing that it is supposed to happen this season. Also, I'm here to see straight up dragon warfare.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see, period. Like, besides that, dragon warfare. And then, two, to see how the toll that this takes on Westeros as a king, as Westeros as a kingdom or whatever. And because really the dance of the dragons is the start of the downfall of the Targaryen, of the Targaryen dynasty. And then we finally see the final, downfall. Well, we haven't seen it, but we know about it through Robert's Rebellion when it happens with the Mad King and stuff. But I really want to see the toll that it takes on Westeros, and it takes on Westeros and just straight up dragon warfare, because Daemon said it. But Daemon said best, the dragons that they have right now. He says, "Look, we got more. Yes, they got Vhagar. They got Vhagar. They got the Greens have Vhagar. They got Sunfire, which is King Aegon's the second dragon. They got Moon Dancer. That's Helena's dragon. We saw a quick shot of Moon Dancer in the first season. That was when young Aegon tried to go into the dragon pit to get a dragon, and that was the dragon that blew the fire. So Moon Dancer. And then two, they have Taraxes, because there is another green brother, Daemon, Daeron Targaryen, but he might be coming up in this one, because apparently he's being fostered in Old Town with Alicent's people there, and he has a dragon known as Tessarion. But then on the black side, where rest in peace to Arrax or whatever, but you got Vermax, which is Jace's dragon. You got Meleys, which is Princess Rhaenys dragon. Sea Smoke is still around, even though that's going to be interesting how they handle that, because that didn't happen like that in the book, where Laenor disappears. He actually dies in there. Moon Dancer is a dragon that one of Aegon's daughter has. Of course, not Aegon, but one of Daemon's daughter has. Daemon has, of course, Caraxes, and then Rhaenyra has Syrax, hers. But also we saw another dragon in the dragon pit, and I love that scene when Daemon went and was singing, like, Daemon went to sing like the Valerian lullaby to the dragon. That was Vermithor. The bronze figure. And Vermithor, probably for me personally, after Balerion the Black Dread, Vermithor is probably my favorite dragon, and Vermithor is the second largest dragon after Vhagar. And Vermithor hasn't had a rider since the old King Jaehaerys that we saw in the very first episode. That was his dragon. And so you saw Daemon lullabying that. And then of course we're going to probably see the wild dragons that live in the wild that nobody have been able to ride, that are out there, which are Sheep Stiller, Grey Ghost, and the one I really want to see, the Cannibal. And they say the Cannibal is a problem. He's called a Cannibal because he's known to eat and kill other dragons as well. So yeah, I just want to see dragon warfare, and just to see how it is, because Rhaenyra didn't want to rush into war, because and when she didn't want, she kind of reminded me of early Daenerys with, look, I don't want to be the Queen of Ashes, because Daenerys is like, I don't want to be the Queen of Ashes. She only had 3 dragons. Rhaenyra is in the prime of dragons, and she's like, all these dragons, we might not have no country or whatever after, after all this. So that's what I'm looking for. What about you, my man?
Chaos. Mm-hmm. I want to see since like this series is really harkening back to the early Game of Thrones,
Mm-hmm.
second season is going to be the season where bastards start dying, and I'm prepared to
Religiously.
and I am prepared to see what huge name actor character that we have grown to love bite the
Mm-hmm.
dust. Like that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for chaos. I'm also looking for people like Laris, see how he plays into it because he is always in the background. You know what I'm saying? And how and who's gonna mess around and off him because he's gonna die eventually. Like he
My
that's
man
just
Lucius left foot, as we like to call.
Lucius left foot is definitely going to die. Like it's not if, it's when. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's Allison finally gets smart, like, yo, I'm tired of coming in here and showing my ankles and my pretty little toes to have him beat off in front of me. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So like there's something like something's got to give with some of those like smaller machinations, just like how your boy from the OG series, Littlefinger. You know what I'm saying? Like he ended up being his own demise. So like the connivers always end up being their own demise. So like I can't wait to see that part of it too. The chaos plus the people who are making it chaos. Because if it wasn't for Lucius left foot, it would have been way more calm. You know what I'm saying? We'd have still had the Strongs would have still been alive if it wasn't for him. So like that's when I'm.
And we know who they would have sided with.
Oh yeah, yo, it would have been Team Black. For real.
For real.
Yeah, man. But other than that, man, like I'm super excited for this.
Can I just say one more thing?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm ready to see my boy, possibly my favorite character in all of Game of Thrones, Daemon Targaryen, continue to be the straight up menace of Westeros. Black Air Force energy, Game of Thrones style personified. I am. Woo!
I mean, because you already know he pissed off. He done choked up his wife, so you already know he mad. Yeah. So like that was very necessary. But yeah,
and
like
then you saw in the trailer when she was like, "Do you accept me as your queen?" And he was just like, about that, because that dude really wants to, because I like him so much because he's so complex. Is he a bastard? Yes, he is. Does he have an evil tendency? Yes, he do. But he cares about the people that he care about, and he about that. To quote the great Marshawn Lynch, he about that action, boss. He about that action, boss. So that's also too. I want to see.
Definitely.
I want to see the menace that he is going to be in this or whatever, because he's going to be the general of her army.
Of course. Westeros' favorite, Daemon Targaryen. Man, I really can't wait for this. But nah, that's it for this one, man. Shut up, dog. If we can, if we would definitely be back next Monday, 7 p.m. YouTube and all your other places where you get our podcast. And man, it's gonna be such a good time next week. And I hope that you guys join us Wednesday. We are doing the Acolyte on Star Wars on Disney Plus. And I really, this will be a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Gives me a good time.
I'm really. Question. I know we doing Game of. Is there anything else out here that you like been watching recently, or you just?
What else? I finished watching an anime. I finished watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I finished watching that. That was really good. Yeah.
You done with the you done with the series?
It's like you probably have it should have a season 3 because it left on a huge cliffhanger.
Okay,
I'm not sure when it's gonna come back, but yeah, because that ended last year. Domain expansion. So yeah, and now I'm watching another show called Windbreaker, another anime. That's just a regular shonen. That's pretty good. What else? And I just was like been rewatching The first season of House of the Dragon, to be
Okay.
honest, and just regular
Uh,
YouTube crap.
for me, Interview with the Vampire, God, show is so good. Has Game of Thrones ties. Our favorite favorite unsullied eunuch, Grey Worm is the
Grey
star of that
Worm.
that
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
show. I think it's Jacob Anderson's his real name, if I'm not mistaken. And that show really, like, you see that guy can act. His acting chops are good. I've been watching that. On top of that, The Boys about to get ready to come back, so excited about saying The Boys coming back. And then and then Power Book 2, the final season for Power 2 Ghosts or whatever. They're running the first half of the final season this, like, right now, and then the second half comes back in September. So they just dropped the first episode last week, and it was solid episode, man. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good TV out here. Movie wise, nothing ever kind of really. I'm, like I said, waiting for Deadpool Wolverine. I'm
yeah.
also interested in that movie with Dave Bautista, where he's like an assassin or something. Like, I think he's trying to get retired or something. I can't.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seen the
yeah.
trailer
I
for that or
know, I know you're
whatever?
talking about. I think it comes in like
Yeah, I think.
September, right?
Yeah, thanks. I'm really
Yeah.
interested to see that. Other than that, man, nothing really
Also want to
moving
see
my.
this movie came out on Netflix called Hitman that a lot of people talking about. It's pretty good. I'll probably check
Okay,
that out a couple days
I
this
saw
weekend
that
maybe.
when I saw that on the thing because I'm now finally get a chance to watch Godzilla -1. I paused it to come do this right here. I can't wait to finish it. It's great so far, and I did see Hitman up there, so I'll check that out
I'll
too.
check that out pretty soon too. But yeah, that's all we got for this one, folks. Again, we will see you all Wednesday at 7. And of course, Westerbro's back next Monday for the next 10 Mondays. By the way, the name of the first episode is called A Son for a Son.